All right. Insurance. Something that we all don't really want to have, but then if you have to utilize it, you're happy you have it. All right, so I want to go through kind of a list of. I just did a list of all types of insurance, and we'll just kind of go down this list and talk about it. Okay, you guys ready? Life insurance. Life insurance. Should this be something you invest in? So, let me explain the two different types of life insurance that they're talking about up there. There's something called term life insurance, and there's something called whole life insurance. You guys ready? So, term life insurance is, let's say you are starting your career, you choose to get married, perhaps you choose to have children, but yet you're in the beginning portions of your career, so your financial level of having things saved is not as much, because we could say time is on your side as far as saving money. So let's talk about term life insurance. Term life insurance is usually a lot less expensive than whole life. Term basically be kind of like, well, what my wife and I had done is we decided, okay, we're going to have 2 kids. Let's get term life insurance for each of us, and we'll have it for a certain amount of time. And why we're saving this money is, or putting this money into this insurance, is we would like to be able to pay off any assets if one of you, my wife or I, were to pass away, that the other person would still continue to work, but the burden of 100% of the bills is taken off, because when your spouse passes away, your term insurance is going to pay you a certain amount. Now, term insurance you can get for a year, you can get for 5 years, you can get for 10 years, you can get for 25 years. And basically, how the insurance company makes money off it, they are taking the bet that you won't die, and you are gambling that you will die. I kid you not. That's kind of the funny thing about life insurance. So term life insurance, both my wife and my insurance, we just canceled our thing. It didn't cost us all that much. I think we were paying, between the 2 of us, about, I think it was $36 a month total. And that $36 a month, if either my wife or I passed away up until age 48, $1 million would be given to the surviving spouse. Okay? And that, we kind of looked at that saying, that would make sure colleges are taken care of. You know, obviously life is changing if you lose your spouse, but you have enough of the cushion of money to take care of it. So that's term insurance. Then there's whole life insurance. In whole life insurance, you are putting money into that to kind of take care of your family once you pass. Now, my mom had whole life, my dad has whole life. And it was my mom, when she passed away a little over 3 years ago, there was $100,000 that my dad was awarded. It actually became a blessing because my parents' finances were not very good. And so by this taking place, and my wife and I, who had access to my dad's financials, we said, look, we are going to get you out of debt. And so then you have kind of a clean slate. And so we were able to pay off the house that they had bought in 1974. They still owed like $22,000 on it. So like, okay, that's gone. You don't have to pay for the house anymore. And then we were able to take care of some other odds and ends for my dad to create the comforts for him. My dad also has that, yeah.
Sorry, what happens if you like pass away before you were able to pay off the house? Like if it's like in that situation, like what if he passed away too? What would happen?
So what would happen is it would fall into the bank's hands, and what they would do to the next person, if there's a will or if there's a trust, there's two different things that we can talk about at another Friday if you want. If there's money in there, that could be used to continue making the monthly payment on it, or if the payment couldn't be made, then the house would be put up for sale. The sale of the home, whatever was owed still gets paid back first, and then whatever is left from that could be paid out to the survivors. Okay. So that's life insurance. Do I think whole life is worth it? I don't know. I'm thankful that my parents had that because they didn't have a lot of other money in place. This allowed us to kind of have a small little memorial for my mom, and when my dad passed away, as well take care of my dad. But is it really worth it? So my view of whole life insurance, if your portfolio starts getting larger and larger and larger, so here's the key. If you had at some point in your life gotten whole life insurance that you were putting into each month or each quarter or each year, it depends how they have it set up, don't just cancel it. You can sell while you are still alive your whole life insurance, because basically what will happen is another company would come in and say, yeah, we'll give you, if you got a $100,000 policy, we'll give you $60,000 right now, and they'll take over. So when you actually do pass away, then they would collect the $100,000. So that's kind of a way that you could say it's part of your portfolio. Like you can keep the whole life as you're cruising along, and maybe that's something my wife and I should have looked at. Maybe we should have had a different policy for whole life, and then once we canceled it or once we sold it, we could have gotten money back for it. So that could have been an option. But the term is a lot less expensive than the whole life, because the whole life you're, I hate to tell you all this, but each and every one of us will indeed pass away someday. Hopefully we all live long, fruitful, wonderful lives. But the big equalizer of life is you're going to pass away. You're born, you live, you pass away. So we looked at the term life for my wife and I to up to a certain point. Our portfolio is in a place that if one of us were to pass away, the other person is taken care of for the rest of their lives without having insurance. So by basically using our own finances. Okay? So, and the funny thing about life insurance, you come across a life insurance salesman, they will tell you flat out, you don't have enough money in a life insurance. It's like, look, I probably would make about $5 million in my career. Oh, you need a $30 million life insurance policy. Why? Okay, you're paying more and more and more. Again, they're taking the gamble that you are going to stay alive longer versus you pass away right away, because they're just collecting money on you over and over and over again. Okay, questions about life insurance? A little overview. Health insurance. This is going to go towards any insurances that we talk about today, whether it's life or health insurance. My friends, insurance is based on your emotions. Okay? Insurance salespeople will sit there and say, hey, well, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? Oh, hey, look, we can protect you from those things. If something bad happens, this is going to protect you. Oh, okay. How much does it cost you? $5,000 a month. That all? No, that's crazy. But health insurance, oh, I could actually spend the next 6 weeks nonstop talking about health insurance. Health insurance, do you need it? Yes and no. So, if you get to a point in your life, because of President Obama, that there's the Affordable Care Act, which the Affordable Health Care Act is no longer affordable. It's not because of other administrations, it's just, it was a misfunded amount. Hey, is it, yeah, it should be good, yeah. So, health insurance, this is what you have to know, and I think I've told you guys this before. If you did not have insurance and you needed to go have an operation done, you can meet with the finance people at the hospital or the healthcare organization that you're at, and you can say, I don't have the money to pay for this now, I want to set up a payment plan. The nice thing about a payment plan at the hospital is by law, it's a 0% loan that they've given you for your procedure. And I kid you not, if you went to the hospital saying, look, I can pay you back a penny a week, they would have to say, okay. I mean, that's how goofy our healthcare system is. So when when people are all going, oh my gosh, everyone needs healthcare, everyone needs healthcare. It's nice that you have health insurance to cover very expensive procedures so it doesn't financially ruin you. But in the long run, if you didn't have health insurance, and let's say you needed to get a $100,000 triple bypass surgery on your heart, you can set up a payment plan that's at 0% interest to pay it back. And then if you think about where taxes would go, as you're paying back that medical expense, it's writing off against your taxable income. So if you're making $130,000 a year and you're paying back $10,000 a year towards your bypass surgery, you're only being taxed on your taxable income lowers to $120,000 versus $130,000. So it could be a benefit in that case. And I'm just trying to show you that, yes, they're going to build on your emotions. And, in the next week or so, us teachers have to pick which insurances we want. I always pick the highest deductible and the one that allows me to save in the health savings account, which we talked about, the health savings account, which is the triple tax protected account. Whatever money I put in offsets my taxable income. Whatever interest is made is not taxed. And whatever I spend it on is not taxed. And 2 years ago, they just changed the minimum age that you could spend it on whatever you wanted. It used to be 59 and a half. Now it's 62 and a half.
Was it created under Bush?
It was created under Bush, yeah.
Okay.
The second Bush.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm a big proponent of health savings accounts. I love it. It's been on many years now. I guess it's 15 years I've had it. Ever since they came out. As soon as we came out, we were looking at it going, wait a minute, this makes sense. So high deductible insurance would mean that I have to meet a certain amount that are doctor bills of some sort before the insurance kicks in. Right now, I'm at a $6,000 maximum out of pocket per year that I have to pay to have medical procedures done. But on the back end of it, I've saved into a health savings account that I can pay for that $6,000 without any problem. But if I didn't have that $6,000 in a health savings account, again, I could go to the hospital saying, look, I had to have triple bypass surgery, $100,000 surgery. I'm responsible for the first $6,000. I don't have that first $6,000. Here's a payment plan we're going to set up, 0% loan for you. So it just becomes kind of a tricky thing. Now, the hospital's not going to sit there and broadcast to you that they offer 0% loans on procedures. But by law, that's the only place in healthcare that they can't profit off of people. So it's kind of a goofy thing. So health insurance, my best opinion on it, get the highest deductible you can find. It's going to cost you a far smaller amount of money than if you had, oh, we only have a $50 copay every time we go to the doctor for no matter what. It's like, how much you paying a month? I'm paying $1,600 a month. Oh, okay. So, Sturb, you have to pay the first $6,000? Yeah. How much you paying a month? $31. Oh, I can't handle it. It's like, let's do the math. I'm going to make up for that difference very quickly, and it's my money and I didn't pay some organization to hold my money that I might or might not ever use. Auto insurance. Boy, do we love auto insurance, don't we? You, as teenage drivers, maybe your parents or family are paying for your auto insurance, but the younger you are, the more you're going to pay. Why is that? When was the last time you saw a 54-year-old guy chasing some dude down to cut them back off because I got cut off 16 miles earlier? Okay? It's not likely, unless you're watching me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not chasing people down. I tried to show grace. Of course, I kind of think other things bad, and then it's like, you know what? There might be something really bad in that person's life that they have to get something right away, and that's why I got cut off. So, you know, I'll give them a pass. But yeah, by that story, I'll give you another one. So auto insurance. I would say if you are going to have to finance your car, make sure that your auto insurance is enough to pay off whatever your loan would be. Okay? So if you accidentally slipped off the road, hit a tree, fortunately you walked away from it, but your car didn't, you still owe $38,000 on that car, you're still responsible to pay for that $38,000. You want to make sure your insurance is in place that would cover that. So we want to make sure it covers your loan. Once you get a car paid off, it's kind of up to you how much you want to get for if your car got wrecked. Okay. My cars right now, they're all pretty much paid off. Well, my wife just bought a new one, so it'll be paid off by June or July. So my wife upped the insurance a little bit just to cover that loan, and then we'll lower it back down. So basically, on my car, if I go and I hit a tree, my insurance will be like, oh, I'm glad you're okay, but I gotta buy myself a new car out of my pocket. Okay, so I'm taking the gamble that I won't get an accident. Insurance company's taking the gamble I will in that case. Okay, so auto insurance is good. There's different levels. You can sit there. You could get, liability protects against lawsuits if you cause an accident. Accidents do happen. Could somebody or could you decide you want to sue the other person? Yes. This will protect your assets from a lawsuit coming against you. So I think that might be important to have. Collision coverage covers damage to your vehicle in a collision. This is where I don't really pay for this. If it's my fault I got in an accident, my insurance will cover the other person's automobile. They don't cover mine. It's out of my pocket. It's like, oh shoot, I gotta go buy a new car. Thank goodness I walked away from the accident. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but life is it. Comprehensive insurance covers damage from events other than collisions. So comprehensive, during the summer, you parked out at some golf course, and a big old hailstorm came through, and it looks like you had 10,000 golf balls hit your car because you have those little divots in it now. If you don't have comprehensive, it's on you to say, okay, I'm going to drive a car with all these pits all over it. If you have comprehensive, the insurance company says, hey, we'll get it all fixed for you, or replace the car, if the damage is too high. So auto insurance, again, it's based on your emotion. Where do you want to gamble? I don't know. Homeowners and renters insurance. Okay. A lot of you at some point will probably move out and perhaps have your own apartment. Is it important for you to have renters insurance? The renters insurance is basically going to protect your belongings that are in there. So if you are fresh out of college and your furniture, you haven't gone to the rent-to-own store yet, you have a old leather recliner that you found out by the dumpster that might or might not have caught on fire. That's one piece of your furniture. You have some milk crates that you have flipped upside down that act as a table. You have a lamp that doesn't have a lampshade. You have a bed. You have a mattress that's sitting on your floor in your clothes. You have a TV that your parents gave you that sat in the basement since before you were born. Do you really need to have renter's insurance to cover that? Probably not. Okay. you know, but if you went and got really nice stuff and something happens, you are renting a home or an apartment, the apartment will cover the damage to the apartment. They won't cover your stuff. So renter's insurance, if you feel you have pretty valuable stuff, would do it. But you also have to look at it going, okay, how often are you seeing fires? Now, I'm not trying to make light of that big fire that happened a few years ago that came through, you know, in the mountains. Then we had the one down a couple years earlier down in the Springs that was knocking out neighborhoods. That's horrible. You know, that's basically a disaster. Okay, disasters sometimes might fall into the federal government helping you out. Sometimes it won't. I mean, Los Angeles just burned down. There was a whole thing of, oh, all these people in Los Angeles no longer didn't have insurance. It was canceled before the fire. Is that the whole truth, or was there like 3 people that like called the news organization pissed off because they canceled their insurance, down their house burned to the ground? I don't know. Okay, we can't really trust the news to portray that information clearly because they're going to side with your emotions to get us all talking, get people to go to the website saying, they really see that on the news. Oh my gosh, they really did say that. And now that I clicked on the news, I had to watch the ads. So the news made money off me watching that stupid story. That was just a fabricated lie. Yes. Homeowners insurance, that's something you need to have. If the homeowners insurance will cover the damage to your home during any type of natural disaster and or fire or damage. But it also covers you as far as your liability goes, that let's say you have a birthday party and little Becky comes over to the party and little Becky's hair is in every which direction and your child blows out their candle and another kid blasts the thing of silly string as they blow up the candles and Becky's face catches on fire and loses all her hair, you're going to get sued. Okay? This homeowner's insurance protects you from losing your house or any other assets to pay for little Becky who got a face full of flame. Okay. Disability insurance. Disability replaces a portion of your income. Okay. Disability insurance. You guys might know this as AFLAC. Okay. Do you need disability insurance? This is again based on emotion. Okay, if something happens to me here at school, if I go and I fall down the stairs and I break my pelvic bone after you guys got done pointing and laughing, I don't have to be paying. It falls under workman's compensation, so it's the insurance that the school district has or whatever the employer has. Okay, so disability insurance. But let's say unfortunately I go to sleep tonight and I have a stroke and I can no longer work. I'm disabled. Well, this disability insurance could offset a portion of the rest of my career working. It's not necessarily, I mean, you could pay, the more you pay in disability insurance, the more you can get, but you're taking the gamble that you're going to have some sort of catastrophic thing happen to your body that won't allow you to work it. Long-term care insurance. I don't know how much longer long-term care insurance is going to take place. We have the baby boomers that are sucking this stuff up like crazy. Okay, and I've dealt with this with my own dad. We're trying to figure out a place that my dad can go because of his dementia and his sundowner syndrome. It's going to get to a point where he's not going to know anybody. So it'd be nice if he had a place that could kind of watch after him. Big scam about those long-term insurance places. I've called those places and it's like, hey, I'm just trying to get some information about this. Is there a home to liquidate? No. There's not a home to sell? No, we don't have interest in you. So they're looking, these places are looking to scam people out of their life savings for the last few years of their life care. So should you get long-term care insurance? Again, you're paying for it while you're healthy and young, and then you tap into it when you're older. It can offset some of the prices. It won't necessarily take 100% of it. So I'm not sure what to tell you guys for long-term care insurance. I guess me, as an afterthought, would have said, gosh, it would have been nice if my dad had invested in long-term care insurance when he was my age, but he didn't. So now I have to cross that one. Everything is money out of your pocket. How much are you willing to sit there and put towards? So, liability insurance. This might be something that you, in your career, might want to look at. This protects you from financial losses if you are held liable for injuries or property damage caused by your actions. So you're at your job, you get pissed off, you go punch the secretary in the face. This liability insurance can cover her medical bills plus give her a couple extra $1,000 to, not take to the courts and sue for more. I have a $2 million liability on me as a teacher, and it costs me $19 a month to have it. Okay, I'm also part of an organization that if I have some student accuse me of something and I'm in the principal's office and over in human resources, I have a lawyer on retainer with the same organization I'm paying $19 a month for that can represent me to help, protect me. Liability insurance, you best. Okay? Is it possible that you might say something in your workplace that gets misconstrued and all of a sudden you're meeting with human resources because it's like, did you really call that guy this or that or call that lady this or that? Yeah, but it was joking. Well, she didn't take it as a joke. And you're like, yeah, she wants $500,000. What? She doesn't feel safe coming to work anymore because of you. What? Are you kidding me? Okay, these are all real things, but this type of insurance will protect you and from losing assets. Now, it doesn't mean that if you totally screwed up on your job that you couldn't get fired, but if you did something that created a lawsuit against you and you get fired, it's not protecting you from not getting fired. It's just protecting you from having to pay out out of your own pocket. So that's kind of a look at just some of the insurances. But my friends, I can assure you, insurance is built solely on emotion. Okay, you will be amazed when you choose to have start having kids. Insurance companies start floating around you. Oh, what if your child is disabled? That sucks. Oh yeah, but this will protect you. Well, does the money mean my child's no longer disabled? No. I don't know if I really need it. Oh, you have to understand, it costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Okay, here we go. So, again, there's ways that they know to build into your emotion. Building into your emotion basically dips into your paycheck. Dips into your paycheck means you have less money, but I'm protected. I have all these insurances. How much you pay per month for all your insurances? About $6,000 a month. So you're paying $72,000 for all these insurances? Yeah, but you never know. I never know? Okay. I don't know if I want to drop $6,000 a month because I never know. It's like, give us all your money because you never know. I know I'll be broke then. Yeah, but you're protected. I can't afford the milk. I have to buy the expired milk. If it's stored through in a dumpster, and I went and got it out of the dumpster. Still tastes like milk. Got a little chunk in it though. Yeah. All right. Is that okay on insurances? Anything good? Any questions? Seem all right? All right, I'll stop recording. Rest of the period's yours. We'll